Texting. We are back. Segment 2, IDD. For those I don't disagree. The highly questionable one, flying solo on a man up Monday. The redoubtable one is recovering. That party animal. See, how many times have I told you, don't go streaky, America, especially on St. Patrick's Day. But anyway, he's in recovery mode. Hopefully he is back soon. We will make do. All things NBA. As I speak to you right now with 4:39 to go on the left coast, the New York Knicks, who I've said before and I'll say again are the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics coming out of the East, they are currently up on the Golden State Warriors, 108-97. Every Golden State run has been thwarted. New York playing defense the way they can. They have, they just had a turnover, but they are. There's 4:06 to go right now, but they have pretty much led throughout this game. They've been up as much as 15 at one point. Golden State has made several attempts to get back in this game. At one point, they got it to 4, but to the credit to the depth of the New York Knicks, the bench, they are responding, answering the bell right now. Right now, you're looking at. Jalen Brunson having another masterful night, 34 points right now. DiVincenzo, 18. Miles McBride. Is it Miles? Oh, is it Miles Mayer? Yeah, it's Miles McBride, who averages 6.5 points a game. Right now, he has 23. They put him in the starting lineup. And then you have Hartenstein with the double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Hart footing with another triple-double, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. So that's how New York is getting it done right now. The depth and the defense of this team is being on full display right now. I hope America's watching. The New York Knicks are for real, boys and girls. It wasn't me just buttering up to my buddy. They are good. They are proving it tonight. They have withstood every run by a healthy Golden State team that's been playing pretty well. And right now, we're going to stay with you throughout this game. Now, earlier tonight, the Boston Celtics came home, told Jason Tatum to take a seat because he played last night when they bitch-slapped Washington by almost 30 and down in the nation's capital here. And he had 30 points. Sam Hauser, by the way, the bench that people don't say Boston has, Sam Hauser off the bench had 30 points in 23 minutes. He did it on 10 of 13 three-point shooting. Pause for effect. 10 of 13 three-point shooting. He went down with an ankle injury in the third quarter, or he might have broken Klay Thompson's NBA record of 14 in a game. The Celtic record, for those of you at home, is held by, of all people, Marcus Smart. That doesn't sit right with me. But he's got it at 11. So both those records were in serious danger when he went down. But he comes off the bench. So they win 130-104. It doesn't matter. They do it without Jaylen Brown, without Jrue Holiday, or without Derek White, and without Porzingis. Those three take the night off. Tatum and Jrue Holiday play with the bench, and they just toy with Washington pretty much from the second quarter on. Tonight, they come home, and they bitch-slapped the hapless, hopeless, listless, useless Detroit Pistons by a cool 25. Two starters out, Tatum and Jrue take the night off. Porzingis comes back into the fray. Jaylen Brown comes back into the fray, and Derek White. And listen to this stat line, America. For those of you clowns out there who still don't think Boston has a bench. By the way, Al Horford decided to take the night off too, for good measure. So again, 3 of their top 6 players out tonight. Okay, so Luke Cornett has, in 28 minutes, he only has 4 points, but he has 10 rebounds. Porzingis in 21 minutes, 20 points, 8 rebounds. Derek White, triple-double. First one of his career, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Peyton Pritchard, there's that name again. The little white rugger from Oregon. The little man that could. 23 points, 7 assists. Okay. Jaylen Brown, a efficient 31 points, 7 minutes, 3 assists on 11 of 20 shooting in just 30 minutes. The Boston bench, Tillman 2, Brissett 3, that guy 6, Springer 6, Welsh 2, the rookie they drafted out of Arkansas. That was all off the bench because half the bench was in the starting lineup. So Boston's bench, and this is what I was saying to Tom earlier, and this is why I think this bodes well for the Knicks, because the bulk of their bench players are playing meaningful minutes now. This is going to help you in the playoffs, because now you're going to be able to play 8-9 guys because of experience in meaningful games. So this is a blessing in disguise. The Boston bench right now, what's happening to them from a confidence side, the last 2 nights, the Boston bench won both these games. Now, again, the teams stink that they beat, but that's the point. Okay? If your bench is good, you should be able to beat the bottom of the barrel teams with them starting and beat them convincingly. 26-25 was the margins on back-to-back nights. They're now 12-2, by the way, on the season in back-to-back nights, the Boston Celtics. So they are 54-14. They are rolling 40 games over 500. And the big one Wednesday night, when the Milwaukee Bucks come to town, who's currently sitting at number 2 in the East. Boston needs to, this is similar to the Golden State game. Boston needs to send a message to Mr. Lillard and Mr. Giannis on Wednesday night. Last time they played him, Milwaukee boat raced them in Milwaukee by about 35. Boston was playing, I'm making excuses for them, they got boat raced. But they were in the middle of a stretch where they were playing, 5 games in 7, whatever it was. So should they probably have lost by 35? No, they were gassed. But they should have lost. Milwaukee came at them with everything and took them down. And Boston didn't put up much of a fight. Hopefully, Joe Mazzulla is talking about that as we speak. Because this has got to be a message game Wednesday night. So, yeah, you got us last time, but we really weren't. No, we're better now. And the reality is they are better now. So Boston needs to return the favor Wednesday night. Giannis did not play in Milwaukee's very impressive win the other night on the road. I believe it was the Clippers, I think. Who did Milwaukee beat the other night? It was an impressive win because he did not play. It wasn't tonight. It was yesterday, I think. Let me see. Yeah, they beat the Phoenix Suns without Giannis, 140-129. And they did that, I believe, where was that game played? Where was that game played? Where was it? It doesn't say where it was. It was in Milwaukee. So they were at home, but again, they didn't have Giannis. But they beat a Suns team with a lot of firepower. And Lillard, I believe, had 41 in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Durant was terrible, 11 points, but Beal 28, Grayson Allen 25, Booker 23. So they had 3 20-point scores, and O'Neal off the bench had 16. So they more than made up, and of course Eric Gordon also had 10 off the bench. So they more than made up for Durant played 41 minutes, only took 10 shots. That's odd. Not sure what happened there. Middleton looking healthy, 21 points. Lillard 31, Beasley 17, Portis off the bench 31 points, Lopez 10. So they stepped up and beat a Phoenix team that's fighting for a playoff position. They're 39-29 now on the year in the loaded Western Conference. But again, a win like that against a team like that without Giannis is nothing to sneeze at. So Milwaukee comes in here playing well. They've got momentum. And this is a game where Boston needs to send a message. And the message is, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because when we run into you, if we run into you, this is what we're going to do to you. And I don't care what you do about it. Now, the hope is that Giannis plays. Again, I don't know how the severity of his injury is. If he doesn't play, all the more reason to boat race him by 40. Don't keep it close, because that's going to give them confidence. Well, we stayed with them and we didn't have Giannis. No, boat race them by 40 and then go, we need Giannis to stay with these guys. That's what Boston has to do Wednesday night. I'm assuming that the entire starting 5 is going to play because they know that is a message game. Okay? And then after Milwaukee, it gets easier. But that's a game you got to send a message. It's got to be a 20-plus point win. If Giannis doesn't play, you got to flirt with 30. And let Milwaukee understand something. Don't walk into our building without your best player and think you're going to hang with us. No, not going to happen. So we'll see what happens there. The Knicks right now are about to win this game. It is 115-106. Very impressive win against Golden State tonight in Golden State. The Knicks, if you know, the other night, Tom, they had a big win in Sacramento, who was playing well. We were hoping that the Knicks would come out of this 2-2. They win tonight, they're 3-0, and only Denver remains. 3-1. If Tom were awake right now, he'd be doing cartwheels, because 3-1 was not what we were projected. We were hoping for 2-2 realistically. We thought they would either lose to Sacramento or to Golden State. But no, the Knicks defense travels. The bench travels. And they're doing this without Randall. The Knicks are a legit threat to the Boston Celtics. And this road trip is proving it. Okay? And if they hold on and win this game, and with 35 seconds to go up 9, I don't believe there's a 9-point line, or Steph Curry would have found it by now. The Knicks are going to be 3-0 on this road trip with only Denver remaining. If I'm Denver, by the way, I'm not sleeping on these guys because defensively they can give you fits. They really can. So kudos to the Knicks for showing up and showing out on this road trip, proving my point that they're the threat that I said they were. They're just 2 games out of the 3 spot, and there's plenty of time left for them to get in that 3 spot and avoid Boston's bracket, which was the goal, 3 or 6. They're closer to 3 than they are to 6 right now. And with Milwaukee going into Boston Wednesday night, Boston beats them. It's 1 game. So this is going to get very interesting down the stretch, given the way the Knicks are playing. The weird thing about the Golden State Warriors is they're better on the road than they are at home. With this loss, I think they're going to fall below 500. Curry hits a 3, of course. So now it's 6 with 31 seconds left because the Knicks didn't double team Steph Curry. By the way, that's stupid. You knew he was going to get the ball. Now they're shooting a 3. Oh, they got a foul. Okay. Why is Steph Curry even allowed to catch the ball? Why is the guy, unless it's Klay Thompson taking it out, which I don't think it was, but why is the guy on the inbounds not just waiting for it to come and double teaming him and not even letting him catching it? You can't let Steph Curry catch the ball. That to me, like, you're just beyond stupid at that point. You double team Steph Curry because Golden State's trying to get Steph Curry the ball. Okay? You leave Draymond Green, who's on the floor, open. Give up a 2. I don't care about him. Screw him. He's the guy you leave open. Steph Curry should not come off one screen and get wide open. That's just piss poor. Thibodeau's defense is usually better than that. That's unacceptable. Golden State's not in the bonus yet because they don't play any defense, so now they're trying to foul. They just got their committed second one in 2 minutes, so now they're going to send Miles Malone, whatever his name is. Miles what? Show me his, what is it? Are they going to show me his name? Probably not. It's not Myles Garrett. It's Miles McBride. How do you forget Miles McBride? You shouldn't forget that. Miles McBride's kind of easy to remember. 22 seconds left. Golden State is up 7 because he made 1. There's the turnover. They blew the whistle. So it's 116-109. Golden State fouled again. So it's free throw time for the Knicks. Make your free throws. Go home a winner. By the way, this segment brought to you by the ever-reliable Gatorade. It's not going to be a haterade night because we're not hating on people tonight. Tonight's all good. It's a feel-good. The Celtics are rolling. The Knicks are rolling. March Madness is upon us. The brackets look good. I still say UConn and Iowa on the women's side got screwed in their brackets. I think the committee screwed that up. And again, like I said in segment 1, NCAA committee needs to figure out the easy way to make the NIT meaningful. Put the winners in the Sweet 16. Find a way to make that happen. Add that bracket in there. Have it mean something. Why not? Just makes you more money. Steph Curry, that was Klay Thompson. 117-112. They're going to get a dunk. McBride is going to ice it. 8 seconds to go, 119-112. It's over on the left coast. Golden State them in the fake show. And again, the Knicks are a good team, so there's no shame in that, but I don't think people realize how good the Knicks are. Yeah, leave it to, who's that, Mitchell? Mitchell's back. Mitchell misses. Congratulations to the Knicks on a very big win. 3-0 on this road trip. New York Knicks. Don't sleep on them. Boston Celtics getting healthy in summation. Wednesday night, big game against Milwaukee. Statement game for the Celtics, maybe the last one of the season. If we look at their schedule, the remainder of the way, and to me, because I know they play Detroit again after this, but if we are, let's see here, if we're examining they're 54-14, they currently have a 9.5 game lead and with Denver. By the way, we didn't talk about that one. We'll get to Mr. Crimey Irving and his Larry Lefty in a minute. Let me see here. Boston Celtics. Their schedule. All right, this is the remaining schedule. They've got Milwaukee at home. Then they go to Detroit, go to Chicago, who's playing well. Chicago would be in the playoff. They're flirting with 500. At Atlanta twice. They're playing pretty well. At New Orleans, so it's not going to get super easy. Charlotte, OKC at home. Statement game. They're currently number 1 in the West. Then they have Sacramento at home. They already beat them in Sacramento. Portland home at Milwaukee. That'll be a big one. New York at home. And then they've got Charlotte and Washington home to close out the season. So there's a couple here. Starting with Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I would say New Orleans, Oklahoma City, Milwaukee again, and the Knicks. There's 5 in the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games that really do. They should sweep Atlanta. Chicago should be they should be able to stay with them if they play everybody. Sacramento coming in could be interesting. They're a good team. But that's after Oklahoma City. That to me is the one. Milwaukee, Oklahoma City, and New York. Those 3 are the big ones. At New Orleans. New Orleans is playing pretty well. They are currently in the West. I think I want to say they're 5th. Let me see if I can confirm that for you. Standings right now. As of right now, the current standings. New Orleans, yes, they are in the 5th spot. They are 41-26. They are 1 game out of the 4th spot, trailing the Clippers. So they are a dangerous team. Sacramento is 6th, and Dallas is 7th. Now, closing tonight, Dallas Mavericks, giggle smoke guarantee, for those of you who watched on Thursday, was Dallas upsetting Denver. It happened at the buzzer, compliments of Kyrie Irving, who threw in a lefty running floater from the foul line, actually 2 steps behind the foul line, over, of all people, Nikola Jokic. Kyrie's about 6'2", that guy's about 6'11", which added to the drama. It was left-handed, it was a runner, and it was all net, basically. Somebody said Kyrie Irving's the most skilled player in NBA history. No, he's not the first guy to make a left-handed shot from that far, okay? He's just the latest. But in any event, he is the most skilled player of this group, I will say that, but of all time, no. His handle it's an illegal handle where he carries the ball like most of these guys do nowadays, and they just changed the rules, they all can do it, so. I always take that in consideration. When you have to carry the ball all the time, Allen Iverson is the one who started all this. I blame him for that. But he's definitely the most skilled player, I think, of this group. But it's close. It's him. It's Steph Curry. It's Kevin Durant. He's in that realm in terms of pure basketball skill. LeBron is up there somewhere. Obviously, Jokic. So he's in good company. But that shot was magnificent. It's the best shot of his entire career as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, it's a regular season one that doesn't. They're not beating Denver in a 7-game series. Nobody if this series started tomorrow, nobody in their right mind would take the Dallas Mavericks over the Denver Nuggets based on a last-second left-handed shot from 17 feet. Okay, Dallas at the end of the day still has the same problem. They don't play defense when it matters. Okay, and that's going to be their problem and their undoing eventually when they get into the playoffs. Hell, and right now they're in the play-in. So. For all of their whatever, they're in the 7th spot. Now, they're tied. Actually, they're 2 percentage points behind Sacramento for the 6th spot, so they could get out of the play-in. But if they do, the current 3 seed is Denver. Dallas ain't beating Denver. Okay? They're not. In fact, I don't know if Dallas can beat Denver, Oklahoma City, or Minnesota. I don't think they can beat the Clippers. All of those teams have more firepower than them, and all of those teams are better defensively than them. They are. So, yeah, congratulations. It was a hell of a shot, Kyrie. I give you kudos for that. And you made my giggle smoke, made me look like a genius. But at the end of the day, it's 1 game. Denver is 1 game out of the number 1 spot, so there's no guarantee Denver's going to stay in that spot. Oklahoma City comes to Boston and loses. That can change. So, but the thing is, Dallas has the firepower to score with anybody. They don't have the defense to stop anybody. And that will be their undoing come April and May. And if they're in the play-in, I don't know. I do know this. Golden State and L.A. aren't going anywhere. Phoenix can score, but like Dallas, the teams at the bottom here can't play defense. Sacramento is marginally better on defense. It's really the top 5 that those guys get it after it on both ends of the floor. And they would be favored over any of these teams, 6 through 10. For that very reason alone. They have the firepower to match them, but they can stop people where these bottom 5 teams really can't. So that's the downfall of being in the West. You can have 3 20-point scores and you can go home in the first round if you can't play defense. So That's why there's a problem there. In the East, New York's win tonight. They are 2 games back of Cleveland. They've only got 1 game left with Boston. We don't see Cleveland again. We've got 2 games left with Milwaukee, 1 here and 1 in Milwaukee. We'll see how seriously Boston takes them. I'm sorry I misspoke. Boston is now 10 games ahead of Milwaukee for the final, for the number 1 seed. 10, okay? 11 of Milwaukee, 13 ahead of New York. I don't think anybody's catching the Celtics. So, again, to me, I'm playing all my horses for those 5 games I mentioned, and then I'm sprinkling in the bench on these other ones to get the meaningful minutes to make sure your rotation is 10 deep for the playoffs. Now, Austin Rivers, who's on ESPN, said that it's a 7-man rotation in the playoffs. No, it's not. It's 8 or it's 9 if you're good. If it's 7, you ain't going very far. It's got to be 8 or 9 at least. Boston is 10 deep right now. You got to be able to play at least 8 or 9. I think New York with Randall back is 8 or 9, easy. So Milwaukee, maybe. I don't know. But Boston, New York certainly have the horses to go that deep. Cleveland, I don't know about. I know this, that if the Knicks get healthier, they're not going to end up at 4. They're not. So they'll end up higher. Orlando 5, Philly 6. Indiana and Philly are a half game between 6 and 7 the play-in. Miami is now in the play-in at 8. I really hope the Celtics draw Miami first. I'll be honest. I hope they do. Because the best way to erase that nightmare last year is to get them in the first round and sweep their ass out of this thing and blow them the F out. I would give anything for the Boston Celtics, because that would tell me, okay, they're done wasting games. They're done not showing up. They're done with this crap, okay? And again, they know, and they've all said it over there to a man, it's all about what we do in April, May, and June. They know it. Everybody knows it, okay? I like what they're doing right now, playing the bench in with the starters, getting them in, and the bench is producing. The bench has been producing all year long. Just now the rest of the country is starting to see it. If you think the Boston Celtics don't have a bench, you are sleeping, okay? If you think the Knicks don't have a bench, go look at what happened tonight in Golden State. Go look at what happened the other night. That you are sleeping. Yes, Jalen Brunson is playing, dare I say, Tom, at an all-NBA level. He is. Okay, he's an MVP candidate, and he's deservedly so. He's playing 34 big ones tonight. Okay, yeah, he outplayed Steph Curry down on his turf. That's saying something. A lot of guys don't walk into Golden State that are that size and do that to Steph Curry. But Jalen Brunson did tonight, and that has to be noted. Okay, it has to be noted. So we will see what's coming up. I'm trying to hopefully get Thomas here Wednesday night, because the tournament, which really starts tomorrow, with the first 4, but Thursday is the first day. I'd like to get Tom in here Wednesday night. I'll talk to him. We'll see how he's feeling Wednesday night, so we can get his predictions, get a bracket, and see what's going on, because it's on, baby, this weekend. It's on. Oh, big time. But on Wednesday night when we do come back, I'll be back here either way. We will dig a little deeper into the women's bracket as well, because why not? There is a draw to this women's tournament, and thankfully you have this brawl between South Carolina and LSU to thank for it. How far can UConn go with just Paige Bruckers and a bunch of role players? We know Gino's probably the best coach in the tournament overall, so depending on their draw, we'll look at it in depth a little more on Wednesday night, and we'll give you some breakdowns of the first round games as well. But until then, America, tomorrow is Tip 'em Back Tuesday. Hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day. I know I did. Tom did until he fell asleep on the couch. So I think he slept through half of it. But the half he was awake for, I think he enjoyed. Anyway, we will see you in about 48 hours for the redoubtable one himself, who hopefully is resting comfortably. The highly questionable one. We will see you guys very soon. Until then,